Anything I can do to soothe the loins?
What?
Don't ever say that to me again.
What the fuck?
Madam, may I soothe your loins?
Oh, God, no.
Aurora and I watched Crazy Stupid Love last night.
How was it?
First time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you ever seen Crazy Stupid Love?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it once when you walked in. Crazy Stupid Love. Hello, boys. Hello, gals. And hello, non-binary pals. And welcome back to the craziest, stupidest, and judgiest podcast on the internet. My name's Josh. And I'm the love one.
My name is Rick, and I'm Rick.
And my name's Christian, and I'm, I guess, the crazy one.
And we are the
Judgies.
Judgies. Back and Sundayer than ever. The Lord's Day, which means I'm not doing work today.
It
Okay.
is your bonus episode this week.
Well, good thing it comes out on a Monday then.
Thank God.
How are we doing today, Erica? Anything on the docket?
You ready for the docket, or are you just asking how I'm doing? Like, which one do you want to talk about first? Because they're very different answers.
Docket.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Docket and day.
docket then day.
Yeah.
Okay. First up, we have a role play gone wrong.
Oh, my.
A canceled wedding for bad behavior. Pretend nightmares? Question mark.
Okay.
That covers the first half of our show, and then we have a listener submitted story. She sends us about her alma mater because our Saluki Stroker influenced this story.
Oh, no,
We got
there's copycats?
No, I think it's just it reminded her of an incident at her school. And then we have another wedding story. Somebody accidentally sleeps with their friend.
It happens.
And then if we have time, a husband messages the wife's ex
Okay.
for something.
Something.
For something. You'll have to wait and find out.
Uh-oh.
Gotta
yeah.
get to that story. We gotta keep it tight. to get that-
Tight episode today, folks.
Okay, so I don't get to tell you about how I'm feeling.
Oh, I mean, if you're quick about it.
Tight about it.
Tight about
Are
it.
you feeling tight?
I guess.
Okay. Tense?
Yeah, my shoulder really hurts.
I can tell. Mainly because you went, ow, the whole time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot of editing. Get all the ow, ooh,
What are you, fucking Walla Walla Bing Bang over there?
God damn.
rude.
No, that was absolutely an expert level takedown on you. What are we doing?
Trying to tighten my headphones a little bit. They feel like they're falling off.
Tighten up.
All right.
How's your day? Or what are you going to say?
Oh, I moved to the next level in my physical therapy, and she fucked me up on Friday.
Okay.
Like, instead of just like moving it and stretching it out, now I'm like doing exercises. And they're just body weight exercises. Like, I'm not actually like lifting anything yet, but even just using my own muscle to move my own arm is terrible.
What are we doing in terms of exercises?
So I'm doing I'm using my left hand to demonstrate.
Yeah.
But if you start at your base or at your core and then move your arm out.
Okay. You're doing some would you like a towel?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Would you like a
the
towel?
opposite way.
Okay.
So bringing it back in.
You didn't want a towel.
You didn't want a towel. Right. And then I'm also doing I have to lay on my stomach with my arm dangling over like the bed or a table or whatever. And I have to do rows
Okay.
Okay.
and then lateral.
Ooh, wow.
Are those flies? Lateral
Yeah,
fly?
like a back fly.
Yeah. But I can't lift my arm up very high.
Yeah.
It is really, really painful.
And that's just body weight.
That's just body weight.
Ooh, wait
And
till you get to
then-
5-pound weights.
I can do like shoulder shrugs.
Yeah.
And like trap squeezes.
Okay.
And then I'm supposed to have Christian like hold my arm while I do like isometric movements
Okay.
where like I try to like push against him, or like he can't move my arm, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every time she does, like, oh, you're so strong, and I just kind of like let her, you know. I'm sure it's not good for her progress, but I want to make her feel good.
It was so funny. So on Friday at therapy, I was laying on the table. She was typing something in the computer, and I heard what I thought was my name, and I was like, oh, who would know me here? Like nobody would know me. And I've talked about how Christian like fixes their equipment or, you know, does whatever. And she like kind of nudges me like look at this guy. And I lean my head back and Christian's standing over me like, hi, babe. And I was like, oh my God, that's my husband. And she's like, I thought so. And then he goes, I was just checking something out. And then he left. And then the other girl, because it's a big open room and everybody's just like working there all together, no privacy. And the girl next to us, who also is one of my physical therapists, says, did he say he was checking something out? And I went, yeah, me.
That probably killed.
It did. They all left.
Yeah.
That crushes that physical thing.
You know what? 5 less may I like your towels for that one.
Yeah.
Or would you like a towel?
May I like your towel? Yes.
Yeah. Please. I really want to.
But yeah. So physical therapy sucks.
Yeah. When you're doing PT, there's somebody working on you, right?
Yes.
Like a physical therapist.
Correct.
Okay. Because this is tangentially related, but I was watching Glee, and one of the characters is going through PT, and they have another student do it.
Oh.
And he gets a boner while he's doing it.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No.
And I was like, why is this not a professional doing this?
Correct. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
A professional would have never let the boner happen.
Right.
A sloppy student's.
And by student, I just mean another high school student.
Correct.
Not
Yeah.
like an intern or
right.
Yeah.
med school student.
Someone not even close to being qualified.
No. He's a homeschooled conservative Christian guy.
Oh, actually, no, that kind of changes things.
Okay, all right. Well, speaking of changing things, we don't just talk about therapy on this podcast.
No.
We also talk about people who need therapy on this podcast. And what that entails is us going online about it. Silly little stories.
Do you guys remember all those stories from Foo Fighter?
Foo Fighter. Yeah. Dave.
Well, no.
Dave Grohl.
The band?
No.
How they just kicked out their drummer?
No.
Oh.
His name's Adriano. It says, hello, Erica, and to all the judgies that if this gets read, you can say my name, Adriano. I was the one mentioned in all the Foo Fighters episode. I was scrolling through my Instagram reels and found this. The story has recently been deleted on Reddit, but was for r/sex.
Wow.
Is that a whoop?
I don't think so.
I don't think that is.
None of us. I don't think our podcast is a virgin.
Okay.
We'll put it that way.
I thought yous would get a kick out of this story, and I know how much Josh loves Italy. If you...
No,
Is
you
that
do.
something that's known about me?
That's in the anals.
is it in the anals that I love Italy?
If you read this, could you please shout out my home city, Pistoia?
No.
So hello to Pistoia, Italy. Lots of Italian love from me. Adriano, I did not know you were Italian. That's wild.
Where's Pistoia, Italy? I'm going to look this up while you...
I didn't know that I liked Italy. This is crazy to me. I'm looking up r/sex. Yeah, we've had r/sex this season, though.
Oh,
So how about that?
relatively new.
Yeah.
All right. This title is Girlfriend Refused to Pretend to be Italian During Sex for My Fantasy and is now mad at me.
Refuse to be Italian.
To pretend
Yeah.
to be Italian.
Those are spicy meatballs. Is that...
No, I don't think that's what he's
Oh,
going
this
for
is
here.
the role play gone wrong.
This is
That
role
would've been-
play
sorry.
gone wrong.
That would have been role play gone right.
Right.
That's a big load. And he's like, do the voice. She's like, I'm doing the best I can.
She's not good at impressions.
23 male here. Girlfriend is 21 female. 2 nights ago, we were at my place, and I asked her to basically just pretend to be Italian. Like roleplay, kinda. I'm pretty big into history, and I identify as Greek.
What do you mean by either of those things?
Yeah.
Those are huge red flags.
And I was just kind of...
They are giant red flags.
And it was just kind of like a power thing. Like imagining myself as this muscular ancient Greek. It's like cut off there. Pholite? Something?
Hoplite,
Hoplite?
probably.
Okay. What does that mean?
It was like a shield bear warrior
Of
kind of guy.
course, you know that.
That's like the modern version of Jack jumping over the candlestick. You hop a light.
Shut the fuck up, Joshua. Okay. A muscular ancient Greek hoplite having sex with a modern day Roman girl, almost like revenge for the Achaean.
I don't know how you say it.
War, Rome versus Greece. She got weirded out and asked what that even meant. I told her a few words in Latin to say, but I told her that it was Italian. She said she didn't understand and kept prying until I basically told her everything. She got really upset because apparently she's like 20% Italian or something and doesn't feel comfortable being with someone who views her as an enemy, which
What the
obviously I don't.
What? Why is that your problem?
I'm wondering how I can explain that this is obviously just a silly fantasy I have and I don't actually hate her or something.
I got a lot of thoughts.
Let's hear him, Josh. Let's hear him.
Leave it to fucking white people to be like, I'm actually 20% Italian.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. You're American. Also, Italians aren't that removed from being some of the worst guys.
Yeah.
Like less than 100 years
Yeah.
from
yeah.
being bad guys. You don't got to go back to Greco-Roman ancient feuds.
Yeah, you don't gotta go back thousands of years. You can go back 80.
It's like I don't like the story at all.
Okay.
For them, it's an interesting read.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like it for them.
Would you? How proud of their Italian heritage, their 20% Italian heritage, where they're just like, how dare you disgrace me like this? How dare you talk about my ancestors?
I
like
was
that?
really rooting for Pizza Balla, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I mean, I guess I do as somebody who is a quarter Portuguese. I do whenever
get pissed off
whenever
when
Portugal gets brought up, I say my people.
Right.
Yeah.
So I am pretty proud of that. And if somebody asked me to role play like a Portuguese-Brazilian war when Portugal was, settling and colonizing Brazil,
Okay.
I'd
You
be
wouldn't like it?
No, I'd be like, fuck you. My people did that justly.
Yeah.
We're the,
Of course,
we're the
Joshua-
only ones who did the genocide
They had
good.
good intentions when they did it.
Josh is always pro-colonization.
Absolutely. Well, no, I'm pro Portuguese colonization.
Okay.
Yeah, they did it right.
Yeah, they do genocide the right way.
Gotcha.
I don't understand why this is an issue on her. Like, well, I understand not wanting to do role play in general, and like that's a whole other conversation. But like, he could have pitched this better.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Just be like, let's just do like a Gladiator 2 type thing.
Yeah.
Like you'll be Pedro Pascal and I'll be, I don't know, I've never seen the frickin' film, but you know what I mean.
I haven't either.
Like, there's just if you want to do your role play where you're a Greek warrior, first of all, you're putting in the work.
Yeah.
Are you putting in the work to look like an Adonis?
I was going to say, you looking like Gerard Butler from 300? Because otherwise, don't even bring this into the bedroom.
Yeah.
Unless you got like one of those Bronze Age suit of armors that kind of looks like you got abs.
Okay, that would work.
That would work for
Real
me a
quick,
lot.
because this does need to be a tight episode. If they cast a real life Hercules, who are we casting for Meg?
Ooh.
Because she's got to be the hottest person in the world.
Yeah.
Whose
Fuck.
sexual awakening in our age group wasn't?
Meg really is like, I feel like she doesn't get enough representation when people talk about hot cartoon characters. I'm sure she gets a lot,
Yeah.
but
Just
she
not
should be
enough.
getting all of it.
She should get
I
more.
think.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
The nasty look she gives does something for me.
Who did you say? I'm sorry.
I haven't said any names yet.
I don't know.
It's
The
good.
hottest person I can think of, my wife. Do you want to be?
Do you want to be Megan Hercules?
Do you want to be an actress?
Not in
Actor.
particular, but
I feel
will.
like Angelina Jolie, circa 2000,
Early-
when it like peak
Yeah.
Tomb Raider, like would have
Yep.
been perfect. She honestly still probably could.
She still could probably get it.
The
They're all.
freaking story was deleted.
That sounds about right. I don't. Josh, you got any names?
I was the only person who gave a name.
Yeah, you did,
So-
huh?
Who did you say?
I'm
Angelina
so
Jolie.
bad with actors.
I don't know who I would want to play Meg. I don't know.
Who plays Wednesday Addams?
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, let's
No.
just put a dark horse out there for the Meg position.
It does need to be somebody with like a darkness about them.
Okay. Yeah, like you don't want it to be like Glenda the Good Witch vibes.
They gotta have a
Right.
darkness to them. Maybe Gal Gadot.
I think that's a better pick than Jenna Ortega.
Hell no.
I was goofing about the Jenna Ortega one.
You were also goofing about the Gal Gadot
Yeah, I
one.
was. But
Well, we don't get a canceled wedding story because it's gone, but
Wow.
how about am I overreacting because the mechanic I hired is now threatening me after I rejected him?
Yes.
what are they threatening you with? Like a bigger bill, violence, signing you up for like spam mail?
Explanation. I'm out of state for some career-related training over the summer and staying in a temporary rental with roommates. So I've been relying on Facebook groups for local help, which was my mom's idea. I know literally nothing about cars, but my 2014 Chevy Cruze has a common overheating issue, which is news to me, and I couldn't afford a shop. So I posted asking for affordable help or advice. A guy we'll call Jason messaged me from what looked like a work profile on Facebook. Offered to fix it for cheap, and we agreed on a flat $160 cash payment. He came over while I was home alone. Why would you do that? Did fix the car, but when it came time to pay, he made it clear he wanted a different kind of payment.
Ew.
I immediately refused and asked him to leave, and he did, with no payment. A few days later, Facebook suggested a profile under People You May Know with the same name and photo, but it was clearly his personal account with pictures of a wife and his kids. Since then, he's been texting me passive-aggressively, and he's called me more than once, threatening me not to tell anyone, including his family, of course. I want to go to the police, but I don't know if it's even worth it. I don't have anything concrete, just creepy texts and vague threats over the phone. My friends say I'm overreacting and should just block him, but I feel sick thinking he could show up again because he knows where I live. Also, I still haven't paid him. Should I just mail him a check in this case?
No. You're not paying him.
Yeah. I think your friends are wrong in the fact that they think you're overreacting, but I do think the advice of just blocking him is step one. How long? I mean,
Is there more?
She has a screenshot of the text message.
Oh.
Do you want me to read it to you?
well, how long? They said they're just here for the summer, right? I feel like you bringing up like getting the police involved is going to take longer than the amount of time you're in town for.
Yeah, probably.
It's not a bad idea to like have a record of this guy being a fucking creep,
Yeah.
but I also don't have high hopes that the police do anything,
Yeah.
Pete Buttigieg style.
My thing would be to just text him and be like, I'm not going to tell anybody. If you continue to harass me, then I will get the police involved. And then at that point, you can make the assessment of like,
Okay, Josh is
like sort of reverse blackmail. Like
You're in-
have all the power.
you're into ultimatums, is what you're saying.
Well, she has the power in this situation where like he's like threatening her, which is illegal, but I understand the concept of like not wanting to like provoke him.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you can like be like, listen, bud, I'm not gonna let your actions ruin your family yet.
Yeah.
Unless you keep being a fucking weirdo.
Hey, it's really up to you if it ruins your family or not.
Yeah.
He says, look, I just wanted to say I'm sorry that I made things weird. She says, it was. We agreed on cash. I didn't expect you to say that stuff. He says, I wasn't trying to cross a line. You just seemed ... open. Thought there was a vibe. I mean, you invited me over. You didn't seem uncomfortable. And she says, seriously, because I trusted you as a mechanic, I asked you to fix my car. How is that a vibe to you? He says, right, and maybe I misread things, but don't act like I'm some predator. You were smiling, joking. If you felt unsafe, why not say something then? She says, I froze. You don't get to blame me for that. He says, not blaming, just saying this feels like a misunderstanding. You're blowing this up. She says, stop texting me.
He's the one. I mean, obviously, we can all agree that he's 100% in the wrong no matter what.
Yeah.
But also, he's the one bringing it up and like saying like you're blowing out of proportions. Like if you would have never texted her,
Yeah.
I doubt she would have ever reached out to you.
Yep.
Then he says, I can't believe you're doing this to me. And she says, what am I doing? And he says, acting like I'm some kind of monster after I helped you, fixed your car, came when nobody else would. She says, you made a move on me totally unprovoked. That's not helping. That's taking advantage. He says, so now I'm the predator? Really? You're rewriting history because your feelings got messy.
You know what? Just text the wife.
Yeah,
She
you know
says-
what? We take back everything.
Text the wife. Call
We
the
should have waited
cops.
for the text messages because we take back everything we said previously. He is a piece of shit.
She says, I'm not engaging with this anymore. Don't text me again. He says, you're ungrateful and vindictive. I should have known. You led me on and now you're scared. Your little plan backfired. You still owe me money. Wow. So this is how it is now? Ghost me after everything?
After everything, there's not been anything.
Also, ghost is crazy.
You really can't even say thank you? Ha 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 ha. Okay. Thumbs up emoji. You let me into your space and acted like you were into it.
What you were there for a job.
Ashamed to like older men? Honestly, you're a user, just like the rest. Smile, take what you want, then cry victim. Jailbait, that's what you are. Jailbait.
What?
That's
Don't
not
worry,
what that term
though.
means.
I won't forget this. You think you're in control? I know where you live. Your silence says it all. Coward. Hope you're proud of yourself.
Yeah, I would screenshot those and well, like you said, Christian, you're not in town for a super long time. The day that you leave, you screenshot
Ooh.
those,
Pass him on.
send them to his wife on Facebook,
Double it, pass it to the next guy.
and then block him on Facebook.
Yeah.
Make your account private. Make sure that you can't find any personal information about yourself.
I mean, it's a pretty common trope on our show here, but just expert manipulation tactics in play here.
I mean, expert in the sense of experts use them.
Yeah, you know what?
He's not doing them very well.
Yeah, he's not doing a good job with them, but he knows the plays.
Yeah. This isn't his first rodeo.
He was a starter quarterback of manipulation back in high school.
He would have.
He's gotten a little sloppy with it.
He would have continued manipulating women until he blew his fucking ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was from Shauna. She
Thanks,
sent that over
Shauna.
to me.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And it's like he wanted that to be something, I feel like, cuz
Yeah.
she is like giving you like, I'm done with this conversation. And he's just like, no, we're not.
Well, he's
Here's
still trying
three more texts.
He's still trying to have sex with her.
Yeah, that's clearly what's going on.
He's still trying to like manipulate and trick her into being like, well, I don't have the money. Let's have sex.
Yeah.
But you do not ever pay that guy a single fucking dime. Because what's he
Yeah,
gonna do?
no.
Take you to small claims court?
Well, that's
Yeah.
what she says. She's like, should I just send him a check in case like he
Yeah.
tries to use this against me in court?
No,
or
because then you have all of that fucking evidence to be like, he was trying to pay for services with sex.
Yeah.
yeah.
He can't take it to court because then that's him getting divorced.
Yeah.
Because that's all gonna come up in the court case.
He has everything to lose over $160.
Yeah, it was only $160.
That's what they agreed upon. Yes.
I can't believe he thinks that sex with him is worth $160.
Yeah. No.
Well, what if he's been cast to play the live action Hercules?
Okay.
No.
Okay, I was just asking a question,
Then I just answered.
and I was just explaining what I did.
Okay.
I could be meaner. Do you want me to?
Josh is referencing my t-shirt today that says I could be meaner. Thanks for noticing.
I like it.
Thanks. This next one was sent to me by Bryn, and it's from r/relationship_advice.
Ooh, we've done that before.
Yep. Title is we're doing titles, right? You want me to
Oh,
read
yeah.
this?
We gotta do titles.
Why is my partner frequently pretending I'm having nightmares so he can wake me up?
Okay.
34 female, 37 male.
First of all, age gap.
I, 34 female, have been dating my partner, 37 male, BPD, so I'm assuming that means bipolar depression, for 8 months. And I can't.
Or borderline personality disorder.
Or big prickly dick.
Yeah.
One of those three.
That's one of those
Right,
three.
right. So they've been dating for 8 months, and I can't figure out why he lies about seemingly inconsequential things. We are long distance right now, but we hang out through Discord, and we keep Discord on overnight as well. I always go to bed before he does because of different work/sleep schedules. He will frequently wake me up by calling out my name repeatedly, then tell me I was having a nightmare and begin comforting me. Now, there was a period of time when I was having intense night terrors because of a medication that I was on, and when he'd wake me up from those, I knew it was legitimate. But the other times, before and after the period of time I was on the medication and actually having night terrors, I would be in either a light sleep/half awake state and knew I had not been having a nightmare, and certainly not to the extent of audibly or visually indicating that I was having a nightmare or in distress. After this kept happening, and because I frequently gaslight myself, I thought, what if I'm having nightmares and just don't remember or realize it? So I put it to the test. I would lay with my eyes closed and let it appear that I had fallen asleep. And sure enough, he has woken me up from nightmares that aren't happening. I don't understand what he's getting out of this. Is it for the attention? Is it some twisted way of making me feel cared for? Because it just makes me feel manipulated and honestly angry because I don't get as restful of sleep. So I don't want to be woken up repeatedly for imaginary nightmares. He has also made up other random white lies that just have no purpose. Like one morning he told me that my cat laid in front of my laptop and watched the entire movie he had playing from beginning to end and how cute it was. Even though I explicitly heard him turn the movie off about 15 minutes in when he thought I had fallen asleep. You need to break up with this person.
Yeah. Or at what point is an over a Discord call relationship worth it?
Yeah.
If he's making little lies up,
Yeah.
he's obviously going to start lying about bigger things if he hasn't already. Like, how can you ever trust a word that he's saying?
Yeah, especially this new into a relationship and like everything like that. Like,
Yeah, no.
spells trouble.
These are the red flags that should be setting off in your brain. Like, it's time to get out.
I mean, she did it, I guess, in a somewhat better way too. But like, I was gonna say, like crack up OBS and record, like, because they're doing it. They're having an overnight visual audio call, which is crazy to me in the first place.
I thought
you need to have some sort of boundaries and like time alone. I don't know.
That is freaky, right? It's weird.
It feels. Who came up with that idea? If you were like, let's do it, that's one thing. But if he was like, I want to watch you while you're asleep, that's fucking.
Yeah.
On top of the other stuff he's doing here, makes me feel yucky. But you can like screen record and then you can confront him and be like, because right now you could just be like, I was pretending, and be like, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I could tell you're pretending to sleep, but then you actually fell asleep for a little bit, and that's when you're having a nightmare when I woke you up.
Because for all we know, this person could be like every guy ever who's like, I wasn't asleep. You know what I mean? And they actually were. We all know we were.
What is
we get
up
caught
with
in a lie.
Yeah.
We can't admit it.
Why can nobody admit that they were sleeping? It is such a weird thing. I feel like I've brought this up before, but anytime you catch somebody sleeping, they go, I wasn't sleeping. What are you talking about? Or like you call them, they have the sleepiest voice in the world, and you're like, oh, sorry, did I wake you up, man? They're like, no, I was up. I was already up doing stuff. I was like, well, you clearly are sleeping still.
Yeah, because they don't want you to feel bad.
I guess.
But yeah, you could like record it and then you confront him and be like, look, I was not having a nightmare. Also, I was faking it.
Yeah. I think at that point you have to.
And then break up.
Yes, also that.
What do you think he's getting out of this? Is he just
I think it's just a control manipulation tactic,
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, I mean, it could be, you know, that he's, I mean, either way it's wrong, but like it could be that he's deeply like desperate for attention and like comfort seeking. And when he doesn't want to admit that maybe he needs someone to talk to, he instead uses this already pre-agreed upon thing where he would wake you up when you were having a nightmare.
Okay.
You know, either way it's wrong and bad.
So what all things are you lying to us about, Josh?
Remember earlier when I said I was happy to see you guys?
Oh, that one actually hurt to hear. I'm hoping this one's a lie.
It's pretty fucking rude, Josh.
Well, I didn't say that. That was the lie. So, remember earlier when I said we don't need to have a break?
Oh, we could do that now.
Yeah,
You're lying, but
I was lying.
So
We do need to have a
we
break.
do need the break. Well, that works out because we're right at time for a break.
Perfect. Okay, bye.
I thought to myself, maybe he's not using the mic enough, and maybe I'm just hearing him wrong. And that one I tried really hard to hear you in it.
You treed really hard.
You don't get to make fun of his speech when you're doing
His
what
is
you're
intentional.
What? How was it making fun of his speech?
doing. Okay.
What? Am I being actively gaslit on the podcast? No, because we're on break. Welcome back on this side of the break where we do the best, most wonderful spot of the show, and we call it
Circle George. What the hell? It's the Circle George.
Thank you. And this was a listener submitted Circle George idea.
Ooh.
I put in the frickin' groundwork.
Okay.
So I'm not even gonna frickin' read their name then, because I feel like you guys are gonna give them all the glory.
No, do
We
it.
won't read their name. We won't give them all the glory, but
Okay, well, someone says, hi, you can say my name. I'm not going to. Kaylee was just listening to the pod. Fuck. That said I.
fuck.
Damn it. I was just listening to the podcast, came up with the Circle George idea for you all. Tier ranking the most popular memes from every year. Or just memes you guys choose or whatever. I don't know. I thought it would be fun. Have a good night.
Okay.
With a very funny emoji. And so, I mean, it's impossible, right? There's so many memes.
Of course.
Yeah.
The MPHs on today's world
Well,
is insane.
especially like
What's an MPH?
memes per hour.
Okay, because an MPH in my world is a master's in public health. So
Huh. MPH in my world is miles per hour.
Yeah. And MPH, well, I'm sorry, miles per hour in my world is a little fox with two tails. What were you saying, Christian? Anything important?
That's Tails from Sonic.
oh, his name's Miles.
Miles, tails per hour. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You think I'm lying?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay. Sonic kilometer per hour is the hedgehog is the other one's name.
I do feel like up until about like 2017, maybe, you probably could have had like these were the top 10 memes of this year.
Yeah.
And now it's like, here's the meme of today, and then it won't be popular by tomorrow.
Speaking of memes that aren't popular anymore, Erica, what TikTok audio did Christian play on last week's episode that you said you really desperately needed to show to people?
Damn, I never sent it to her.
Ooh. Here we go. This is a meme tier list. I didn't try to go with
The fish one.
The what?
La Poisson Steve. It's the fish. Little fish singing in French.
It was the listener submitted audio. I didn't want to go with like memes like the
Okay, Mr. Hotshot.
jeez. Maybe I should go with the other memes. Like I'm not gonna do like an image, like the Michael Jordan crying meme, right?
Okay.
These are more trends or things that like it wasn't an image or a video or a GIF. It was like a thing that became a thing.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So
And you wanted to do a tier list?
yeah, so Blake will put it on in post.
Okay.
So just typical tier list. S is top, A, B, and then
Okay.
C and F.
Okay.
Sound good? 2024, how could you go with anything other than Brat Summer?
Okay.
Where are we feeling on Brat Summer as like a
B.
ideology?
I'd give it A tier.
You go with A.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think BA is right where it belongs.
I mean, I am a girl's girl.
Okay.
So A tier.
I really just don't think you know. I really don't think you know what Brat Summer is. I think AB is about where it goes because
Okay.
I think it was fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there was nothing bad about Brat Summer. I feel like it lasted the exact amount of time.
Yep.
The music accompanying it was like good enough where it wasn't like, whatever. I don't know. It was fine. 2023. The spiritual processor to Brat Summer, which is Skibbity Toilet.
Holy fuck.
F tier.
That's F, right? I mean, we're too old for it.
Yeah.
But I have never once thought Skibbity Toilet was funny
No.
or
brother,
interesting.
you never could. I do fear this is like This is, I feel like it needs to be scientifically researched because there truly is something that's like you can never get, as somebody our age, you can never understand the joke in this.
No, right. We're just too old
It's
for it.
impossible. It's like, it's not just like, oh, you don't understand that kind of humor. It's like you would never be able to grasp what's funny in this.
Yeah.
That's how I feel watching
That
it.
feels offensive to me.
We're just old now is the thing.
That's offensive, Joshua.
And I did go back the last 12 years for memes.
Okay,
There's,
impressive.
2022, and 2022 was not a good year for meme movements, we'll say.
Okay.
Move memes.
Boo.
Morbius. It's Morbin time.
Morbin time.
That was kind of the closest thing I could find really in 2022. Are you aware of the Morbius memes? It feels like something that probably is, I mean, it's definitely way less intrusive into people's lives than like Skibbity Toilet or Brat Summer was.
Morbius is kind of crazy because it was a meme that made a movie come back into theaters, right? Didn't
Yeah.
they? Morbius did so bad, they're like, we're going to stop playing this. And then people are like, it's Morbin time. Like, hey, we're doing a second run of releases,
Yeah.
which is crazy for a studio to do.
Don't really remember this one.
Yeah. It wasn't a very big blip. 2022.
And
Hey,
it's got-
correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
I'm
but,
saying it's an F still.
Really? I think it's like a C tier because I think there was some real. I think it's a meme that you still see today, and that counts for something.
I do think Morbius walked so Minecraft could run.
Yeah. I could
What
see
was that
for
movie
sure.
about?
Morbius.
It was like a Marvel. It's the Spider-Man villain that,
It's a
for a
vampire.
while they're just doing, he is a vampire. For a while they're just like taking any C tier comic book character because they're like, oh fuck, we already wrote all the good ones.
Okay.
So then they just started trying to make movies off of the bad ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go C tier because you said it right then.
Yeah.
2021. Sheesh.
Sheesh.
Sheesh was a long run.
I think that's an S tier.
I'd put Sheesh in S tier.
Do you think that's over Brat Summer?
Yeah.
Sheesh was fun. I mean, it helps that we had sheesh hats about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that just shows our age
Maybe.
because
We were
sheesh
in
was
the-
a thing that came up, I believe, for like Zoomers, like younger than us, and I feel like Zillennials, like and
Really?
young millennials, really just took it from them.
We
Yeah.
ran with that.
We
one.
immediately. It was almost like the new yeet,
Yeah.
where it's like somebody yoted once, and then everybody over the age of 30 was like, "Yeah, we're saying yeet all the time now." Or on fleek is even a better example.
Yeah, it's
where
like,
"Nope,
ooh.
that's our."
Nope, you dropped our new stem. That's our new vocal stem, and we'll be taking that one forever.
2020, and this one kind of surprised me how recent it was. But 2020 was the year of Karen.
Really?
Yeah, that's when Karen really popped off.
Are
during-
you for real?
during the pandemic? Yeah,
Really?
yeah 2020.
Karen feels so much older than
Yeah.
that.
Maybe that's the thing. It's just been known forever, but like that's when it really got the traction.
That's when it really became like a thing.
That's when we started
That's
posting random people
wild.
saying
Yeah.
Karens. I think before I was like, oh, that person's a Karen, but then 2020 is when we started dropping Karen videos and like
Yeah.
we're getting recorded being Karens now.
So what do you think? I think for me personally, Karen's like a B tier.
Yeah.
I was gonna say B or C.
Because as much as it is just like making fun of old people, I do think there's still an element of problematicness to it. It lends itself too closely to be like making fun of women, which I don't stand for.
Okay.
2019.
But what about that thing when the podcast isn't recording and you say you hate women?
Well, that's for real.
That one's a joke.
I'm putting on a character right now. I'm ally passing.
Yeah, you are.
I heard that on SNL, an SNL clip, and I thought that was so funny to call yourself ally passing.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
Well, tell that to ScarJo. 2019, okay boomer.
I still use that in my daily
You do.
vocabulary.
You do.
I especially love it when Christian will have his flashlight on in his phone and forget and puts it in his pocket.
I do that
So then
a
his
lot.
pocket's just glowing and I say, okay, boomer.
Yeah.
It happens. I wish I could say like it happens to me like once a month. It happens to me every other day.
Yeah, it's multiple times a week.
I just can't not, and you're not going to know this reference, Erica. Whenever I see the phrase or hear the phrase, I cannot get Nico Lowell's fucking
That's
song
all I
out of my
can think
head, and
of.
I hate it. The okay boomer.
I know that reference.
But did you know Nico Lowell?
No.
Yeah, right. That's what I was saying. So what do we think? What tier?
I would put it at A tier because I like it.
I think it's a B tier.
We'll do A again.
For
Because
boomer.
I do just like calling people. Like, here's
Just like calling people boomer.
calling someone a boomer. It's like it rolls off the tongue nicely.
It's definitely it definitely is great that it wasn't calling people like Gen Xers. Like, okay,
Yeah.
Xer.
yeah,
Like that would have been terrible.
Yeah.
Boomer and Zoomer both work good.
And if you would have been older than boomer, you would have been like, okay. That's a silent generation joke. 2018, Ugandan Knuckles.
Wow, that was 2018.
Yeah.
I thought I was in college for Ugandan Knuckles.
2018, folks. Are you aware?
This is
The way.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was
Is that what you're about to
everywhere.
say? You were saying this.
Yep.
What do we think? I think this is like a C or F tier. I mean, it was everywhere, but like the joke never evolved.
I never really thought it was that funny.
Yeah,
so.
and like I just don't think it had a very high ceiling or floor is the thing. It was always just like, yep, that's Ugandan Knuckles again. Christian really likes it though, so let's get his take.
Well, I'm sitting here being like, at minimum, I'm giving it a C. I mean, did you ever watch the videos of like VR chat and stuff where everybody's dressed up as Ugandan Knuckles and like
Yeah.
they're like, it was silly goofy. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Everybody's pretending to spit on each other.
We'll go C tier. Because this next one's definitely F tier. We're going 2017. This is Salt Bay.
Wow.
Gotta be F tier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
Salt
most.
Bay is older than Ugandan Knuckles and Karen. I feel like I'm in like a time warp right now.
I mean, Salt Bay terrible. Felt so manufactured,
Yeah.
but it did make way for Super Awesome Wow.
Oh.
Is that what he called it? Is that what it is? Where he has the golden steak. Or
Yeah. What is his name now? I can't even. Super Wow.
Super Wow.
Super Wow.
2016.
$100 million
Yeah. No.
dessert.
Yep.
2016. Harambe. R.I.P. Harambe.
S.
Dicks out for
Oh
Harambe.
yeah.
S.
Harambe is definitely S tier.
Which is I can't believe I thought I was gonna have to fight for S tier for Harambe.
Really?
I didn't know. My fantasy football team name was Dicks Out for Harambe until the league dissolved. All the way from 2017 all the way until like 2022. Which I guess wasn't that long. But
No, it's a good run. It deserved it.
I mean, what a good meme. And really the downfall of our country really accelerated.
I swear to
post-Harambe.
God.
Sometimes it feels that way.
Literally, the death of Harambe was the mark of
Yeah.
just.
I remember
awful.
sitting in the computer lab in college, finding out about Harambe, and then arguing about Donald Trump and why he's a bad president
Yeah.
of Canada. Like, those things are so too tightly combined in my brain.
Yep.
I do fear, and hey, call me crazy, but maybe child sacrifice would have put us back on to the right path. Maybe we should have let the kid get got by Harambe.
All we need to do is send in 99 more kids.
Thank you.
We don't even know that Harambe was going to kill that kid.
Yeah.
He was just checking it out.
I mean, realistically, we don't. He just sort of dragged it away.
Yeah. He could have been like, oh my God, let me get you to my handlers.
But if that was your kid, you're making you're calling down.
I'm calling my
And you're-
99 closest pals, and I say we got a
If
gorilla
that
to
was
take
your
down.
kid in the enclosure, you're calling up the CP, the Cincinnati police, and you're like, take the shot. Line it up.
I would say do whatever you have to do to get my kid
Yeah,
out of there
yeah.
alive. Absolutely.
And this is actually Why You Always Lying, 2015.
Why you always
And
lying?
I mean, this is the last year of Vine, so like there was so many Vine, but I felt like Why You Always Lying is a very pervasive, long-lasting one.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That was an earworm, and it really, I feel like it stayed around for a long time.
You still see it.
Oh yeah, I was
I
gonna
still
say,
say
it
it.
comes back
Yeah.
up all the time.
So what do you think, tier-wise?
At least A
I was
tier.
going to say A or S.
Really? Well, I was
What-
going to say B, so we'll do A.
Let's do A. Did that start the trend of like news reports turned into songs, or was that
Schmo Yo-Yo?
Schmo Yo-Yo?
No, I think Schmo Yo-Yo was before that because they did shit with, what's the name of the YouTube channel?
Like Kosh.0 and shit, right?
Yeah, because
So,
I
like
mean,
that's
Bed Intruder was like 2009 or 10.
okay. That's
I've never heard of any of those.
hide your kid, hide your wife.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's Bed Intruder by Schmo Yo-Yo.
Was that like a made up?
That was a real news broadcast,
Okay.
but the guy was so charismatic that they turned him into a little song, a little ditty.
Oh, okay.
And the YouTube channel is called Schmo Yo-Yo.
Okay.
2014, Do It for the Vine. I mean,
Yeah.
a battle cry of a generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could go out any city and you would hear people shouting out, "Do it for the Vine."
Yeah. Classic.
C tier.
At least.
It's fine. You're never saying that today unless you're being really ironic. But that being said, no one says do it for the TikTok. Some people do say do it for the gram. Mm-hmm. But nobody says do it for the TikTok.
I feel like Do It for the Gram was a holdover from between between Vine and TikTok.
Yeah, that's fair. And 2013, the last one we have on our list here, 12 years ago, folks. This was the year Doge. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
This was the year that little Shiba
And that
Inu-
dog just died like a year or two ago?
A couple of years ago, yeah.
That was an old ass dog.
Yeah. Well, they're smaller dogs. They live, pretty long. Thoughts about Doge as a meme. This is my most millennial take. I love Doge memes. My Twitter background header is still
Is it really?
Doge head on Twinkie in space.
That feels so 2013.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Blake put my Twitter header on screen. I mean, that's just a good image.
yeah, that's good.
So
This feels like one of those images where, like, do you see it now? Where, like, I just saw one on Twitter about like the beer app, like the drinking beer app, and it's like,
Yeah.
we literally don't know how to program this anymore. I kind of look at those Doge pictures and be like, we don't even know how to make these pictures anymore.
yeah,
Only AI could ever make that picture anymore.
Grok build a Doge meme. Yeah, hang on 1 second.
Let me just crack a cold one.
the fact that you had that so readily up is
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I downloaded it for a bit once. I never got rid of it, just for bits.
Sorry, do you need light?
Yeah.
Like, put on lighter app on my phone screen. Oh,
What the fuck?
shit.
Sorry, it's been a while since I had one.
I didn't know you're that fucking sick with it.
You don't think I don't have a freaking cigarette app on my freaking phone? And you can blow next to the microphone to smoke faster? Do you think about that?
What? Yeah, you blow on the microphone and it smokes it faster?
We'll have to allow app permission, so I don't
Oh.
do that.
Okay.
But you could.
Yeah, I don't do that because it's for sure stealing my data if I allow the permission.
I felt like the last time I did it, you could change it to a Mary Jane, but I guess you can't.
That's
So,
only on 420.
tier list, Doge. I want it to be S, and I will settle for nothing less than C.
I would put it in B.
B? The thing is, it's been tainted.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
with the Department
Oh, yeah.
of Government Efficiency.
Yeah, for sure. I have no opinion on it.
Wow.
You know what? I feel like you're
It's
pretty
fine.
You were still pretty offline at that point.
Yeah.
B tier. So let's run back through the tiers. In F tier, we got Salt Bay and Skibbity Toilet.
Okay.
In
That feels right.
C tier, we got Do It for the Vine, Ugandan Knuckles, Morbius.
Okay.
In B tier, we got Doge and Karen.
Okay.
In A tier, we got Why You Always Lying and OK Boomer and Brat Summer. And in S tier, hey, Harambe and Sheesh.
Okay.
If that ain't the most millennial ass tier list, but I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
And I'm still surprised. This kind of happens every time we do a tier list, that we still have a bell curve going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm shocked. I'm like, it makes sense, but it's like, it doesn't feel like it's going to end up this way. And then it ends up that way.
So yeah, that was our meme tier list. Do you have other memes that maybe you want to do from each year? Send a list or something. But like I said, I didn't want it to be like kid eating sand meme. Like it's like,
Yeah.
or like Bad Luck Brian. And those would have all been before 2013, but you get the gist. Like,
Yeah.
Like it just feels too niche in the weeds to try to go with specific memes.
Okay,
I wanted
okay.
to go with moments.
That was a fun trip down memory lane, Joshua.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you, whatever the listener's name was, for sending in this suggestion.
Fuck.
Kaylee?
That sounds right.
I think you said Kaylee because I was going to make a joke about Chaperone.
Was Kaylee. I don't think it's spelled the same as Chaperone, though.
That's her real name.
Yeah, it's like Kaylee.
That explains a lot about
something.
Kaylee Rose Amstutz.
Amstutz.
That's Chapel Roan's full name?
That's a
Yeah.
no. That's our listener's name. I just doxed them.
Oh, shit.
A terrible name.
Well, I see why they go by Chapel.
Kaylee Rose Amstrutz. First of all, whose middle name is Rose?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Oh.
And after the circle jerk, we always have a listener submitted sound. And this one comes to us from Please Don't Say My Name.
We get a lot from them.
What's good? I've had this stuck in my head for a couple weeks and figured I may as well share. Regardless of the fact, I'm no singer and most people can't do Haley Williams justice.
Whoa, I was going to play this next week.
It's fire.
Can count the years on one hand, they've been best friends. Need the other ones to read lore, make us feel better. It's not a walk in the park to do a podcast.
That's true.
But
you.
when they get to record, can't deny, we're worth it. 'Cause after all this time, they're still judging you. Ba-dum. I should be over all the shit and piss, but I'm into poo. And baby, even on our worst nights, I'm into poo. Let them wonder how they got this far, 'cause we don't really need to wonder at all.
Why'd you go Halsey?
After all this time, they're still judging you.
Thank you.
That
Please
was
don't say my
fun.
name.
I don't know why you went with Malsey at the end.
Hey,
there.
they said they're no singer. Give them a
that was a
frickin'
choice.
break.
That wasn't a lack of skill. That was
Give
an
them a
active choice
break.
to go for Malsey. Yeah, please reach out. Please, we die young. Please reach out. Please come on the podcast.
Who?
Haley Williams.
Oh, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, Williams or We Die Young, I think is the name of her company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you come on the podcast, you probably start paying our podcast guests, I don't know, $25 to come on our show.
Yeah. We'll pay you
Well,
with exposure as well.
Ask her if she'll do it for free first.
Good Die Young? Is that what it's called? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Whoa. I hope that got picked up on camera.
Did you see that, Joshua?
No, I was looking at
I think it got picked up right in the corner of it.
Great. Fell off the couch.
She's a little idiot sometimes.
Oh, that was so funny. Okay, this one. Does it say if I can say their name?
Kaylee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah
Doesn't
is
say
Haley
if I can say
backwards,
their name, so
it's-
I'm not going to. This is from someone. Hello, I was inspired by your recent episode to share drama from my alma mater. This drama actually started while I was in school, but crazy to think about.
Okay.
I went to the University of Iowa. Go Hawks.
Tight on you.
And was unfortunately a theater major at one point, meaning that I once stepped foot into this man's office. I later became good friends with a vocal music grad student who had more insider knowledge. Here's the link to an article of everything this dude's done. Rundown is allegedly he would do Skype/Zoom sessions hosting other... Oh, maybe I should actually read the article first. Hold on.
Paywall. Hey, democracy dies in darkness.
Okay, that's kind of deep as hell, talking about an article about a meme. It's deep as hell what you said.
That's the tagline for
The...
Washington Post.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is?
The democracy dies in darkness.
Oh.
Which is just stupid because they fucking paywall their shit and it's owned by Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
But hey, shout out Hunter, the person who interviewed us for WAPA.
Shouts out Hunter.
I forgot we did that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We should have that framed. We should print it and frame it. I think that'd be a good addition to our little wall over
That
here.
would be cool. We're mutuals with her on TikTok, and she's always doing cool stories.
So the article that they sent is from the Gazette. And the title of the article says, Retired University of Iowa music professor faces meth and child porn charges. And then they used his university picture instead of his fucking mugshot.
Well, it's a good headshot.
But you know he's a
'Cause
white
he's
guy,
white, yeah.
so
They would have had to file a FOIA to get the mugshot. He has a perfectly good headshot from the university.
he was indicted on federal charges of distributing methamphetamine that resulted in a death and of possessing child porn.
And this was the theater professor?
Yep. Music professor.
Music professor.
He had also bought drugs from a supplier in California and had 12,000 photos and 3,100 videos on his electronic devices.
This is going to be me attempting to make a joke. I don't even download regular porn.
Right?
I guess you kind of, if you're doing
You have
CSAM,
to.
you kind of have to.
Yeah.
There's not like a www.showmenaked of. I'm not even going to complete the URL.com.
Yeah.
So I guess you
How-
kind of have to, but it's fucking disgusting.
Did they say 30,000 videos?
Pictures.
Pictures. Okay. And did it say how many videos?
3,000 videos.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the porn thing, it's like I probably could have, if I was gonna download porn, I could probably have 10 and I could be satisfied for. I don't think I need
I'm good
3,000.
for 30 years.
I don't think I need. I'm not scrolling past and be like, oh, what am I gonna do today? Jesus Christ.
Well, I think the big thing with this stuff too is, it becomes a network of fucking degenerate sacks of shit. And so they're just getting a giant file and then distributing that to other sacks of shit.
Also, the university received an anonymous email from someone who identified as a parent of a freshman and said he attended a house party hosted by this man at his home
No.
and that he provided meth and GHB to partygoers to have sex with them.
Didn't know JHB was still around.
I don't know
Also,
what
why
that
did
is.
the dad get invited, or this was the freshman got invited to a house party and the
freshman.
dad learned about it? Okay,
What's GHB? Great Harry Bush?
it's
Hold on.
George H.W. Bush?
No, it's GABA.
Yo Gabba Gabba? Gabba Newsom?
Gamma hydroxybutyrate.
What kind of a drug is it, I guess? Was that
It's a date rape drug. It's a sedative.
barbiturate or
Oh.
something.
Barbiturate.
Oh.
Oops, where am I at here? Let me
I
go
was not aware of that drug at all.
back. So our
I don't
list-
think it's been a thing since like the early 2000s.
it's a roofie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
But that's the name for ruhifenol? Because I always heard like ruhifenol, right?
What?
Or is that like a
That's another
GHB
barbiturate?
versus-
I thought GHB was like a liquid, and roofie's a pill.
barbiturate's a crazy name for a drug classification.
It kind
It
of
kind of goes hard.
rocks, right?
Like if I went outside, did some narcotics and some barbiturates, you sound like you were cool.
Yeah.
Turns out, probably not.
Yeah, there's a good chance you were not a cool guy.
Or at least you didn't have a good time, depending on which end.
They're not the same
Okay.
thing,
All right.
but they are both date rape drugs.
Gotcha. How do you...
So anyway, then our listener said, additionally, allegedly, he would do Skype/Zoom sessions hosting other pedophiles and would basically live stream his child porn and that he had. And I think that's how he got reported and eventually arrested. He also apparently had a big chest tattoo that said meth fucks. Crazy to think I once had a conversation with that man because
It's crazy that you can even get a tattoo artist to do that for you.
Yep. Because I was a student in his department at one point, the police emailed everyone that had taken classes under him if we had any weird, scary, illegal situations with him and offered to set up counseling sessions for any victims. Also, he was forced to retire when the school found out about the allegations. I think he was on forced administrative leave for like a year before that. Like he was still teaching up until then. Life is crazy. Oh, I forgot to mention that the year before I started school there, he was featured as the lead in a musical, and all of my friends that were involved in the show mentioned how he was constantly outside smoking, who knows what, and could not ever remember his words and was kind of a terror to work with. So yeah, there's a good chance he was teaching while on meth. It's pretty crazy.
Method acting.
Oh, also, I feel like we should dox this man because
Seems
he's a
like
piece
meth
of shit, and
fucks
his
you
name
up.
is John Robert Muriello.
Italian makes sense.
Muriello, 65 of Iowa City.
Yikes, Josh.
I'm
I don't know if
just-
we can. I'm joking over here.
I'm joking.
Thanks for sending us that story.
Real piece of shit.
Real garbage.
Real piece of shit work there. I had a theater teacher in college that was really big into StarCraft, and one time at
Same thing.
yeah.
I see the parallel. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one time everybody came into class and he was actively playing StarCraft on his computer. He's like, just give me a minute. And he had to finish the round.
I do the Zerg rush.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was just like it was just like the most unprofessional thing. I've never experienced it at this point in my life. And then
Yeah.
it's like, I also like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. As an adult. you
Yeah.
get it, yeah.
But it was just like, what is going on right now? We're
Yeah.
just holding up class so we can finish playing the video game?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say shit. I'm not offended, but it is like culture shock right now.
Legally, if you don't base capture in the first 15 minutes, we get to leave.
Yeah.
That's
And then he also, and hey, maybe this does start putting up red flags. Also, for homework one time, we all had to go watch Sam Kinison videos, the stand-up comedian, and we had to write a one-page paper on whatever Sam Kinison.
what class was this?
This is a theater class.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't know you took a theater class.
Yeah, you had to take theater, or it was like a humanities thing. You had
Huh.
to take theater or art history, maybe.
That's probably when I took religion because I was in a non-state school. Did you take theater? Or did you take art history? Art history.
Both.
Okay.
I
You did the
took
theater class in college? I had to do like fake stage setup and shit at the end.
No, I didn't have to do that. What? I took
Art
Film history?
film history.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did art history and film. It wasn't even film history, was it?
I took ethics and
Some kind of film.
and religion.
Ew.
Well, I was in a Christian college. You know what? I just saw something. You know how like most classes are like 4 credit hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That means you only took like 20 classes in college to get to 80.
That's all it takes to graduate is 80.
Or is it 120?
I don't remember.
I don't
It's
remember.
120 to graduate, right? But still, that's only 30
30
classes.
That is crazy.
I feel
right?
like I took more than 30 classes in my bachelorette days.
What? Your bachelorette days? Is that what you just said?
Bachelorette.
baccalaureate.
Days. My bachelorette days.
Yeah.
Not my bachelorette days.
He just really wanted that rose. And now I forgot what I was going to say, Josh. Distracted me.
I didn't do shit.
Do you have any villains in college?
Did I?
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there was this bitch named Kat. Didn't like her.
Never met a cat I liked.
That I don't agree with that.
Next.
No, yes,
Story.
next story.
There was a kid in this theater class named Samson, and he wore golden Nikes that had like wings on them. And I've never seen another person that could pull these shoes off, and somehow this guy did. He aura farming. It didn't exist. It didn't exist 13 years ago, but this guy was aura farming.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Can we talk about how college was 13 years ago?
Yeah, and I mean that's yeah.
That hurts my feelings.
Aurora graduated high school in 2015.
I'm old.
Yeah. But she's only 2.5 years younger than me. How does that work?
Classes breakup. Yeah, that makes me feel. I mean, you're young too.
Yeah, I'm young for my class.
You are too.
Next
I'm
story.
I'm ready to go.
Sorry, I'm
As
just
soon as
reminiscing.
I went to open my mouth,
Next.
you opened yours.
I'm
so-
reminiscing.
All right, this one is from r/wedding drama.
I don't think so. I'll check. Do you want me to check?
I do want you to check. Title says, I'm not invited to my maid of honor's wedding.
Oh.
Now, and I'm sure we will get to this information. If you're currently not married and you're like, we're coming up to our wedding day, and this is my maid of honor, and your maid of honor also has a wedding in the same year, and you're not invited to it, that's crazy. But if it's like you invited her years ago, whoop.
I got engaged early 2020, pre-COVID, and I got married beginning of 2021. It was a small 10-people wedding that COVID had adjusted many times, including a virtual shower. I wanted a baby and wasn't waiting out a party for it. No bachelorette party or anything. There's a bit of an age gap. At the time of my wedding, Cassandra, the friend, was almost 22 and I was 26. I had my cousin, Cassandra, be my maid of honor, and my 2 sisters were my bridesmaids. I felt I've always been closer to Cassandra, and she had expressed the same sentiments about her siblings and me and genuinely seemed to be in my corner. I realize now that that's not the case. Here are some highlights from the wedding. Cassandra and my mom planned a virtual shower. Yes.
I'm just numbering the highlights.
Okay. Planned a virtual shower and sent a box to everyone's house with a mini bottle of wine and some streamers. And the virtual shower had a couple of games. From my understanding, my mom did most of it, and Cassandra didn't even want to call and check up on RSVPs. She made her mom do it. The wedding registry was a point of contention. She was telling me that they were greedy and gift grubby, and doing one was crass, but also asking for money was crass, and no registry meant I was asking for money. I didn't want to do one as I felt weird about it. I was just looking to celebrate my wedding. Did one because the aunts were saying I had to and asking, and had things as low as $10 and genuinely not asking a lot.
I hear that's one of the best reasons to get married. Is for the registry.
Honestly, I wanted to elope, just my husband and me, but everyone around kept pushing for a wedding, including my husband, while also being annoyed that I was having it. It was a wild ride. Cassandra spent most of the time talking about how it affected her and was an issue for her and how COVID bothered her, but then right away, after bitching about germs, got on a plane ride to Mexico and got COVID. Okay.
She took all the precautions, though. It wasn't her fault.
Okay. I got pregnant right away, had a really bad pregnancy. At one point being told to TFMR. I don't know what that is. Almost died giving birth, resulting in bad postpartum anxiety and depression.
Termination for medical reasons.
Here are the highlights from that era of her life with Cassandra, whatever. I couldn't name the baby Charlotte because that's what she wanted to use for a name. I couldn't also use our great-grandmother's name, Isabel, because she wanted it as a middle name for her other baby.
Come on.
Said I wasn't close enough to my dad's mom, in her opinion, to name my child after her. I did it anyways. Said frozen organic fruit for my homemade purees for my baby should have been fresh, not frozen. Said the car seat isn't so tight, it's uncomfortable for my baby. It's not tight enough. Just like constantly yelling at her about various things, judging her. The vibes were just off. About a year and a half after the wedding, she was just mean-spirited in all of our conversations, and I was struggling with it.
This is a year and a half after her wedding?
After her own wedding, yes.
After
OP's wedding?
OP's wedding.
They got married in 2021, and that's it?
Correct.
Okay.
And we had a couple talks about it, which the highlights are here.
So what is lady? What are you, a freaking hairstylist?
I didn't call her enough, but when I did, she was mean. She was also dodging my calls and wouldn't answer, then send a follow-up text a day later saying that she was too busy for me, wouldn't engage when I asked about things, and also wouldn't bring things up. She lives an hour and 45 minutes away, and despite the fact that before I had my baby, I did all the driving to her. I was a bad person because I wasn't driving to her anymore, and she had to drive to me because I didn't want my, at the time, medically complicated baby in the car for 3.5 hours round trip to visit her.
Good name for a band.
medically complicated.
Medically complicated baby. MCB. That's a good band name. Write that down.
I was a bad person
First
because
note, I was already in the band name list on the notes.
I was a bad person because I didn't go to our great grandmother's funeral. That was 2.5 hours away. Instead, I chose to stay with my mom. It was her grandmother's funeral and watch a virtual viewing of it instead, so my mom wasn't alone. I mean, just goes on and on. So now this is where we are at with her wedding. I'm in Disney when she gets engaged. She texts my mom saying she's messaged me but doesn't think I got it. My mom says that I'm not on data while out of the country, but trying anything else. I get a picture and like 2 words in a text. I was butthurt there wasn't a phone call or anything with the story or info, and she clearly didn't want to share, so I say congrats and finish my chip. She also never texted me first. I'd have gotten it on my return. Came home to an eviction notice. So that sucks.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to come home to.
During the chaos, Cassandra picked her wedding party, and I reach out to her sister saying I have a balloon decor business and I do parties often for fun, and I make cakes and everything. I have no clue where they're at with things, but anything needed for any events, I can help, and I would do it for free. It took a couple months with all of my chaos, but I finally reached out with a white flag to Cassandra saying despite everything, I still loved her like a sister, and anything she needed, I was there for her.
Why?
Yeah. Save the dates come out, and me and my siblings don't get them, just my mom. Mom calls her asking what's up. Cassandra says none of the cousins are invited, saying it's about money.
That's crazy.
Cassandra's mom was being weird and evasive with my mom, and it was an issue. Turns out they're just pussyfooting around things and not having a direct conversation with my mom over it. So none of my mom's kids are invited, but they want my mom to help plan the shower.
But this person was your maid of honor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And closer to her than some of her siblings,
Yeah.
honestly. Emphasis on was.
Yeah.
Despite all the shit I got about wedding registry with a couple of gifts, she's asking for $8,000 in cash for her wedding, which is totally fine. And his side has money, so she'll get it and wish them the best. I wish them the best of luck.
What does that mean? What
What?
does that mean, wishing for $8,000?
So when you go to the wedding and they have the little box where you can put in your gift cards or your money, they also have the little thermometer thing that they mark. And they have their goal at the top. They're marking it throughout the wedding.
They're doing like a donation.
We're so close.
Like a telethon.
Yeah, we're so close. Please.
Lines are ringing off the hook.
Please open your generous wallets and give us a few bucks.
While you're at the altar saying your I do's, they pass around a little fucking the
tithing
bowl.
Then she says, I'm sending a wedding gift to her registry, $750 with a note saying something like, I wish you the best and I hope I never hear of it. More than what she has spent on my wedding for everything, including gifts. Less than I would have spent if it was her bridal party like we'd originally planned when we were girls. And then I'm going no contact and blocking the whole family on that
Why
side.
are you dropping 750 bones?
That's what I'm saying.
Little wordy for a gift note.
Gets cut off. Why are you dropping 750 bones?
Yeah, that's crazy. What kind of wedding gift are they asking for? That's $750.
No, they're not doing. They're hoping for 8,000. She just wants
Yeah.
cash.
That is, you know what? You guys are so right. I thought there had to be something worth the value of $750 to just straight up be giving $750.
Yeah.
First off, crazy number to pick.
What's the most you guys have ever spent on a wedding gift?
Couple hundred.
I was gonna say like 200 maybe, but it's usually like I feel like every time we do, it's like we buy. We're only going to weddings that have gift items, so it's like
Yeah, right.
You buy a couple gifts. I don't know.
Right.
Well, if they don't have, like, we've gone to weddings where we've given like $100 in a card.
Yeah. I feel like if you're getting over $100 in a card, it's getting crazy. I'm gonna need like one of those envelopes that you can't see through. I'm gonna need a security envelope.
Yeah, I'd say the most I've spent is probably like 150, 200 on stuff. I don't know how much I don't know what I got you guys as a wedding present.
The dog DNA kit.
Oh yeah, that was about
Yeah.
$150,000.
I
Dog hairs.
sounds about right.
I think it's about $150 somewhere around there. That's crazy. 750 bones. Hey, good for you for having it like that.
Listen,
True.
This story, look at how long this story is.
Yeah.
That's long.
That's very long.
Still
You're still
going.
going.
That's all on Reddit?
Yeah.
I thought they had character limits.
Um,
Turns out they're TBS.
I don't
was
know
a
if they're just
crazy story, but I didn't
Characters
read.
welcomed.
I was gonna say you did. They really every time they're like, "Here's a quick summary," and then like
It
it was
was-
just bullet points, and it'd be like 8 bullet points.
Very paragraphs of bullet points.
But they can't all be highlights. You know what I mean?
That's true,
They're
that's
called-
true.
They're called the highlights for a reason.
Um,
They're the
Those
highest
are
of
just the lights. You're giving us the lights.
Here are the lights.
All right, one more.
This is the one we were excited about, right?
Oh yeah,
Accidentally sleeping with your friend?
maybe. I don't know. You just hyped it up in the docket.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the one that we might not be able to get to. But things worked out right because one of them disappeared, and now we got time for this juicy one.
You ever think about Darnell docket?
No.
Is
I don't
that-
know who that is? Is that a football player or something?
I honestly, that's exactly. I was like, that has to be somebody in the NFL. Can I get us with that too? Since you got it over here.
That was the loudest I've ever heard you suck on that straw.
Yeah, I suck pretty loud.
Well, anywho, r/relationship_advice. What do you do after accidentally having sex with your best friend? 27 male and 27 male.
Clean up.
I don't know what to do or even think. I've been friends with Jordan since middle school.
Ew. End it.
Jordan or middle school?
Jordan.
I've been crashing at his place for the last 5 years, and he's helped me out a ton over our friendship. We've never discussed sexuality because obviously we're both straight. I've only had girlfriends, and he's never shown attraction to men. At least that's what I thought. I've been struggling with alcohol for a while, and last week had a breakdown and decided to stop drinking. Problem is, I just quit cold turkey, which I know is bad, but I thought I could handle it. I went a few days before relapsing hard yesterday. I don't remember last night, but I woke up laying on top of my friend, both of us naked. As I was getting up, he grabbed my hand and muttered, "Don't leave yet." I don't know what happened, and I don't know if I want to know. I've been holding his hand to try and make sure he doesn't wake up yet, and it does feel nice, but part of me wants to just run away and hide and forget any of this ever happened. He's never shown that kind of interest in me, and he's never seemed jealous when I hung out with a girlfriend. I can't help feeling like I used him in some way. What do I say to him when he wakes back up? I just want to go back in time and not have to deal with this.
Huh. I think
Wild.
You're worried about how you're going to handle it with him. I think you got a lot to handle with yourself here. I think there's a lot of introspection that needs to be going on here. Maybe put down the damn phone and start doing some introspection.
Yeah.
What do? You have to have a conversation. There's nothing else you can do. Mm-hmm. You can't we're never going to talk about this ever again.
I mean, obviously, step 1, clean up. Step 2,
Sure.
Thank you.
send him your survey monkey survey to let him know how he felt about it.
Okay.
Everybody
Everyone's
has
got
one.
one.
Everyone's got one.
Interesting.
I always give you the performance review survey.
Was
Do you
that-
not fill it out? You get a free fry if you fill it out.
No.
Was that good for you? That's the only question on this.
Pretty much.
Okay.
What color fries would you like? We only have
You
one.
do have to make a purchase before you can use the free fry, though.
It's just brown, yellow, brown. That's the
Oh.
only color fries we have.
Oh.
Okay.
Sometimes there's a little bit of green on it if you get
All
a
right.
crazy one.
Okay.
There's nothing else you can do. You gotta have the conversation.
Do you want the update?
Ooh.
No, I need it.
I mean, yeah. I think you do have. Yeah, I think you just have to get. You can't just be like, we're not going to talk about this and we're just going to try to move past it.
I mean, you live together.
Yeah, you got to.
I love that he says, I've been crashing at his place
For 5 years?
5 years.
I also have
till
this
I get
story
back up
saved,
on my
and that's
feet.
exactly why I saved it. Because it was like, I've been crashing on his couch for 5 years now. And it's like, you're not crashing anymore.
You live together.
Well, now you have a bed, so
You're not paying rent. Yes.
you kind of upgraded.
The update is we had sex again.
Okay.
So you're into it.
So nothing about the cleaning.
Nope.
Wow.
Survey must have been good, though.
Slobs.
Sops.
There's cum everywhere in that household.
A big loads. Is that what that's what the guy wanted in the first story, right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, you love a happy ending.
The top comment says, obviously you're both straight. Obviously. Bro, at some point crashing at his place becomes living together. And after 5 years, well, enjoy your new boyfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that you just had him in the friend zone the whole time, I guess.
Yeah.
Shame on you. Or maybe he had you in the friend zone.
Yeah.
Shame on him. I don't know. Is there shame on him in the friend zone? That I don't think so, honestly. Now that I'm saying
Is there
it.
shame for other people having you in the friend zone?
Yeah, I would say no. Now that I'm like saying it out loud.
I guess it depends.
If you're like,
If you're like weaponizing it,
yeah.
which is what every guy thinks that every woman is doing always.
And it's mostly not that.
Yeah. I would say 99.9% of the time.
Yeah. But sometimes it's nice to have somebody that knows how to, I don't know, change the oil in your car or something. That's why I have most of my friends that are in the friend zone with me.
Yeah.
Because I need help changing the oil in my car.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one and it's short.
Crazy. Was this on the docket?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's on the docket. This another one from r/relationship_advice. This one was sent to me by, I believe, Erica. Yeah.
Spelled wrong.
Yes. My husband, 29 male, messaged my ex for nudes of me, 29 female. Is this fucked up?
Yes.
How fucked up is it?
So
7.
fucked up.
I broke up with my emotionally abusive ex 9 years ago. We've had no contact, and my husband knows that. There's no trust issue. Are you sure?
I
had
can never
ex-
keep a file for 9 years.
I had explained to my husband that my ex still had photos of his ex at the time when the ex and I were dating, a small issue of the emotionally abusive relationship I was in. So I could understand if he thought my ex still had nudes of me.
Oh, I can't keep keepsakes.
We joked about him messaging my ex for pics, but I didn't think he'd actually do it. He said he was feeling frisky and it was a bad decision he made out of horniness. He's sorry, but genuinely doesn't understand why I'm flipping the fuck out. He's trying to see it from my perspective, but if the roles were reversed, he said he wouldn't mind as much. Lie.
So you're wrong. You aren't seeing it from her perspective.
Yeah.
Because clearly her perspective isn't that it wouldn't matter.
My ex messaged me letting me know what my husband said and that it's inappropriate. I feel so embarrassed that the ex that mistreated me, like, he has the upper hand now.
It is funny for your abusive ex to be like, hey, your current boyfriend's kind of fucked up.
Husband.
Your husband's kind of fucked up.
How old are they? 29?
Yep.
There's a non-zero chance that these nudes are also of her underage, depending
Yeah,
on how
true.
long that previous relationship was and how old those images are.
Husband and I are in a committed, loving relationship, together for 5 years, married for 2, and I'm pregnant for 4 months. Why does this feel like such a huge violation?
Because it is.
Yeah.
Here is the message that he sent to the ex. Hey, how are you doing?
Ugh.
I know this is weird and completely random, but you used to date my wife. She told me you guys took some sexy videos and pictures. Do you still happen to have those? Just to clarify, my husband does already have intimate photos of me on his phone that are between me and him.
I was wondering, perhaps, do you have any of those that you would
That's the thing.
perchance send to me?
He had zero fucking game.
Yeah.
I don't know what amount of game you would need to have this to work out, but it's more than that.
Yeah. She edits to add, I will say that we have lightly played around with jealousy kinks. I just think it's crazy he took it this far.
Huh.
You don't get to involve other people in your kink without their permission and without your partner's permission. So that's pretty fucked.
I know there can kind of be a kink for anything, but I guess I never did the math to think there could be jealousy kinks.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes as people do, and they they weaponize therapy speak. Sometimes weaponizing it's like sex kinks or sex speak and stuff like that could also happen. And I feel like this guy might just be really jealous and was like, "No, it's my kink actually."
Yeah.
Gross.
But who frickin' knows?
No, it gets me so hard when I'm frustrated and I'm jealous
Somebody
of you.
should put a frickin' kink in his hose.
Permanently.
He's actually into that too.
Fuck, really? He's into penis smashing. Huh.
That sounds so violent when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, mostly kinking. He doesn't really want it to be smashed.
I don't think there's a non-violent way to kink a penis.
Yeah.
There's going to be amount of violence. It's sort of like resistance against a government. There's going to be some amount of violence.
Yeah.
Kinking a penis is like resisting the government. Huh. That's really
No,
deep.
this
hang
is-
on. Kinking, penis kinking
Anyways,
is like resisting fascism.
hit that button, please.
Huh.
Hey, well, if you want to listen to more of our shit, go over to.
Shut the fuck up, Josh. Shut the
Yeah,
fuck up,
that's the
Josh.
button I
Shut
needed.
Oh,
you to
that's the
push.
button you needed?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were trying to get me to give plugs. If you want to hear more deeper thoughts on how kinking a penis is kind of like resisting the government, go listen to our bonus episode.
That's right. You got an okay one today. I don't want to hype it up too much.
$5 gets you a monthly episode. That's on patreon.com/Judgies. $5 gets you a monthly episode. $10 gets you weekly bonus episodes. Ricky, where the heck can they follow us?
Wherever you're on the internet, we're probably there too. And our handle is @JudgiesPod. That's JUDGIESPOD. Fuckers.
Go follow us there. We're probably kinking our penis just as hard as we're resisting the government.
Which is none. We love the government. Our penises stay unkinked.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Really. Really.
Really?
I got an insane news update pulled up on my phone right now.
Oh boy.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening.
The Judgies.